What is up, Sagittarius? Welcome to your general timeless reading. These are timeless, so whenever you see this, when it's most meant for you. These are also general, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Please do not force these to fit. If you want a personal reading or Reiki session, my name is Jordyn. I'm a master Reiki practitioner. You can go ahead and book your session down below through my website in the description box. I do have a promo going on for the month of July. If you want a free 15-minute reading, check out my Patreon channel. That's where you can get a free 15-minute reading, but also you'll have access to monthly readings, energy shift readings, moon cycle readings, and weekly Patreon-only videos. Other than that, I take those monthly readings, I put them on Vimeo, so if you want to purchase your individual monthly, you can do so there. Those are timeless readings as well. And like, share, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, and hit that notification bell so you can see when I post and when I go live. Sagittarius, let's get into it. Let's see what goodies we got for you. I need some tea because my throat's starting to hurt. Yeah, let's get into it. Come on here. These are backwards. Let's use Sagittarius. Okay, feminine energy. You guys have a lot of feminine going on. Okay, so we will use my divine feminine for you, which is I actually really want to use my masculine deck, ironically enough, which is retrospective tarot. This is by Marchetti Tarot. All the tarot decks I use are linked down below. So go ahead and check that out. Show me what I most need to see for Sagittarius, please. What messages of love, healing, and guidance do we have for Sagittarius? I just heard corrections. This feels like a course correct, like shifting directions. It kind of feels like giving somebody with a cold shoulder, to be honest with you. Not in, okay. Some of you, it's just simply realizing that, how do I say this? No one is entitled to our time and energy. You are not obligated to have anybody in your life that you don't want in your life. But I would just recommend, and you're not obligated to listen to me. Just to say it, just to be honest with you. To always work through love, compassion, and hold space for others, because we all have struggles that we may not be aware that other people have, right? I hope I said that right. And just because we don't jive doesn't mean that we have to be cold or rude to one another, right? Yeah, death. So there's the ending in faith in reverse. There's the misunderstanding of the holding space. Yeah. So it's the disconnect from a person, right? Death, the ending, the cutting of that tie. And the faith is that lack of compassion, is that lack of the higher frequency. It's kind of working from the ego versus working from the higher consciousness. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm feeling here. Okay. That's what I'm feeling here. It feels like that cold shoulder. There's a need to understand that what goes around comes around. Karma, right? I'm not going to go into that whole spiel, but look it up. Okay. With the Hierophant here, it's unlearned lessons. So you're probably going to encounter this again. So if you've had a falling out with somebody, or if you've cut ties with somebody, this is also broken contracts, right? Breaking a contract with an individual. This is breaking a contract with somebody. So sorry about that. Usually my phone's on silent, which is really rare. That's actually on sound. By breaking a contract with somebody and not holding space or doing it in the way that creates peace between two individuals, there is going to, it's almost like a choice to hold that attachment to that person. Whereas you can detach and just not have attachment to it. Like you can say, okay, well, this is done. Now I'm just going to go my own way and have zero attachment to it. But when you detach from an individual with anger or fear or animosity or resentment, things of that nature, that's when the ego is involved. That's when limiting beliefs are involved, and attachment, because attachment's rooted in the ego, is involved, right? Okay, so let's continue. Let's see what else we got. The Star in reverse. Yeah, so this was a missed opportunity to learn a lesson. You have 3 majors coming out. That's a lot of divinity. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles. So it's a scarcity mindset, limiting beliefs, and the Ace of Swords. Not wanting to see the truth about a perception here, right? A lack mentality, or seeing this as a loss, or seeing this with a limited, how do I say this? Seeing this as a glass half empty experience, right? It's kind of what this feels like. So let's say you and I have a falling out, and I walk away from it and I'm like, okay, well, I wish that person the best. I guess our paths we've had our season. We've had our season, our reason, and our why. And we part ways. That's how I see it. That's just how I see it. You know, we've had our time because you came into my life, we learned our lesson, and now we part. And let's say that when we part, your perspective is, well, F her, like she hurt my feelings and she did this and she did that, versus looking at self and looking at our dynamic and saying, okay, well, we had that falling out, and that falling out taught me that when someone speaks or treats me in this manner, it triggers this aspects of self that triggers a behavior that I learned in childhood that made me feel abandoned. Was that really her intention to make me feel abandoned? Most likely not, you know? So why did I feel that way? Well, it reminded me of when my parent or when my friend or when my ex did X, Y, Z. You get what I'm saying? There's a need to address whatever this lack mentality, the scarcity mindset, this loss was. That's what this lesson was around. And that's why this ending occurred. But someone's not seeing the truth of that with the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay? And this was all meant to lead you into a new stable foundation. That was the purpose of this. Okay? And you can still learn that lesson even though you've parted ways. There's just a need to shift that perspective so you can see it. That's it. It's not that like you've missed the opportunity to learn the lesson. It's just that at that moment in time, you missed the opportunity in that specific moment. But you can still learn it now, or it wouldn't be coming up. Cool. Okay, let's get into it. Crystal visions. I hope that makes sense, because that's really, it's a complex thing to try and explain. And I know I talk in circles sometimes. It's hard to say what I want to say to you when I have my intuition, my higher self, and my guides all talking in my head at once, right? So let's look at death. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles, which is the card of practice, diligence, and work, right? So it's time to work on this transformation, work on this ending, work on what we've learned in order to shed an old way of being. 8 of Pentacles. I really like this. I almost said Capricorn energy, but it's Virgo. Let's look at death one more time. Okay, this actually feels like an obsessive energy. If you have a habit of trying to force things to work, trying to make them to go a certain way to control the situation, there's a need to release that sense of control and understand that maybe you have a sense to control things, yeah, like relationships or dynamics with other people, because it makes you feel more safe. Because if you control it, then you know the potential outcome. It's recognizing that that aspect of your need to control comes from distorted masculine energy. Part of you that wants to control it for a certain reason, whether that reason is to feel safe, or to feel empowered, or to feel whatever it is. You need to explore that and understand it, because it's part of this lesson. It's coming from a limiting belief. Okay, so let's look at faith, which is the Hierophant. Yeah, 2 of Wands, which speaks to the new path. This contract ended to, wow, beautiful. I love this. I absolutely love this. This contract ended to open up a new path to create change for you. It had to end because it was ending to show you the lesson, to show you a habit, to show you a pattern that is something that you continue in a cycle over and over. And it was coming from your feminine energy. You're very aware of it in your feminine, but it's almost like your masculine's distorted. And it's almost like in your head, you're like, I know I do this. And then your masculine's like, but I'm going to blurt it out and say it anyway. And your feminine's like, damn it, I thought I wasn't going to say that. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. And it's almost like the inner battle of your masculine and your own feminine energy. Right? It's kind of like a lack of self-control in a sense. And this is the opportunity to create change in that. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's actually working in your benefit, because it's helping you not only expand, but the Wheel of Fortune is beneficial energy. It is Jupiter energy. It's expansive energy. So it's helping you raise your consciousness. It's working in your favor. It's good fortune. It's prosperity, abundance. And with the Two of Wands, it's opening up new doors for you, which is really nice. And it's all about allowing the old to fall away, because the Hierophant is also throwing out the rule book. It's understanding that whatever old constraints or confinements I put myself in, whatever boundaries I thought I had to hold myself to, or roles I thought I had to fulfill, like thinking you had to be a leader, thinking you had to be the one in control, realizing that you don't have to be in control. It's okay to give control to your partner or give control to a friend. It's okay to be a follower and not the leader 24/7. It's okay to be receptive, to sit in your feminine energy more. That's what you're learning. You're throwing out your rule book because you realize your rule book's a little freaking distorted. Just a little bit, because it's rooted in distorted masculine energy. Okay, let's look at the star. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Three of Pentacles, and the Emperor in reverse. I love this. I love this. Emperor in reverse is distorted masculine energy. It's a very controlling energy. It's a masculine energy that says my way or the highway. And your feminine energy is lacking the confidence right now, the sense of safety and security to figure out, okay, how do I start building a new foundation and working with my masculine and feminine energy to create something that's more stable, balanced, with moderation between it. You're recognizing that you had the opportunity to fix this, right? And you might have missed out on it, but now you're like, I do want to fix it. I do want to work on that because I recognize that it's distorted. But how do I do it? The feminine is struggling to feel safe and secure and actually creating that with the Queen of Pentacles, but with the Queen of Swords, you know what the problem is. The struggle comes with feeling confident and safe and stable in oneself as a feminine energy, because the feminine is where we manifest from thought. It's where we create the idea. Masculine brings it into tangible. So you're just coming up with a game plan on how to heal your own distorted masculine energy, how to feel safe with being vulnerable, how to feel safe with releasing control, how to trust yourself, your intuition, and your environment and your connections and relationships enough to give that sense of control to others, knowing that you are safe to do so. Just one step at a time. Bottom of the deck is the Tower right now, followed by the King of Pentacles. And when you finally do that, you have a very balanced masculine energy, which I love. This is my mini Emperor card, which is really nice to see underneath this. It's helping you heal your masculine energy by doing this. Let's look at the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so the Five of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles, the Unknown card in reverse, and the Chariot in reverse. Yeah, you're very aware that part of you is holding on to this, but what if the sky falls? Or what if I get left behind? What if I get abandoned? And what if I don't control the situation? What if it doesn't work out? What if I lose money? What if this relationship falls apart? It's the what ifs, what ifs. What if it all works out in your favor, right? It's like this fear of the unknown and things going sideways and not working out for you is all of the mind's focusing on, instead of releasing that distortion, that illusion that you're holding on to, and thinking in a more positive light, thinking in a higher state of consciousness, and being more optimistic about it, which is actually going to work in your favor. Because when you sit in this negative, low vibrational energy, that's actually what you're manifesting. Yep, and it's all rooted in the Nine of Swords, which is anxiety, fears, limiting beliefs, right? So let's look at the Ace of Swords, because these are basically like the lies and distortions that you tell yourself. Ten of Wands, and that's the burden. And the Knight of Pentacles. It's going to be so hard to do this. It's going to be so hard to create stability. It's going to be so hard to give someone else the sense of control and security. Like, I don't know if it's going to actually work in my favor. You're just, that inner dialogue is going to create such burden. And when you finally release that and recognize that that's a cycle that needs to fall away, that's when you can step into this sense of, wait, if I just take very slow, methodical steps, Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the deck, and realize that I don't got to fix this overnight. As long as I take steps towards my goal each and every day, I'm making progress, and I'm proud of myself for that progress. Because the only person putting a time limit on it, right? Because that's distorted masculine energy. You're holding yourself to that caliber. Nobody else is creating that caliber for you other than yourself. You put that bar there, and if you don't like how hard or difficult it is to achieve that caliber, move it. If you put it there, just put it a little lower. Be like, okay, well, this is my goal today. And then tomorrow I can put it where it was the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And by the time you get to where it was, you're going to be like, damn, that was so easy, because you weren't trying to get there all at once. You took it little at a time. You were more patient and gentle with yourself because you balanced your masculine and feminine. Because your feminine energy is where you nurture and you allow yourself to receive, right? Let's look at the Ace of Pentacles. I just heard healthy balance. I'm not taking all of this. Everything just exploded. Oh, Atlanta. Let's pull this over here. Okay. I'll take these that are face up. And I'll put these back. So we have the Devil, the Hierophant in reverse, the Eight of Cups, and the Four of Swords. Okay. So you're realizing there was an attachment to the old rule book. You're realizing there was massive attachment to the old rule book, which I absolutely love. And you're choosing to walk away from it. Eight of Cups and heal it. Four of Swords. And that's what's leading you to this very stable foundation. Ace of Pentacles. I love that these two cards came out together, because just recognizing that you have an attachment to the old way of doing things in your life, right? A distorted way of doing things, a way that is keeping you and the ego and limiting beliefs and fears and a need to control things and people and situations and a need to know, well, what's going to happen, or what if I had done this, would it had happened differently or unfolded in a different manner, instead of being here now in the present. When you're here in the present and you release that attachment, that's when you can have your sense of stability and your fulfillment, because you're in feminine, you're receptive, right? And then you can balance your masculine and still create at the same time. Very, very nice. But Sagittarius, this is what I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I'm very excited for you. Throw out the rule book. Focus on balancing your masculine and feminine. If you want some help stepping into a higher consciousness, I do have a meditation affirmation playlist on my channel that I use myself to raise my frequency, to help me manifest things, and to just help reprogram the mind away from limiting beliefs and scarcity mindset. It's just on my channel. It's just another YouTuber's videos that I saved on a playlist that I found very beneficial on my path that I just made public to help you guys. So go ahead, check it out. I love you. I wish you the best. If you want a personal reading or Reiki session, book it down below. You want a free 15-minute reading, check out my Patreon channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.